Yeah, I think, we kind of, we bent and we broke a little bit there in the third period, obviously, you've got to try to make some plays and you've got to try to create, but you also have to make sure that you're not feeding their transition, their rush game. And I just think that we made more mistakes in the third period than they did. And obviously they've got a lot of skill. They capitalize on those.
Like, would you think that Ronnie Edouard's debut?
Good start for him. I think that there was a couple times where he's sort of pressing the issue a little bit, getting caught on the wrong side of things. But I liked his assertiveness. I liked obviously his range, his stick. He looks like he's willing to shoot the puck. So I think it's a good first game for him.
Mike, what do you think of Carter's performance?
I think Carter was fine. I mean, like, obviously the one off the boards, that's kind of a bad bounce. I'm not going to blame him for that. I don't think that we lost this game because of Carter tonight. Again, obviously we all have a job to do. His job is to make saves. There was some real big saves that he made there, and that's a team with a lot of skill. But again, I'm looking at this game and I'm looking at the mistakes and the opportunities that we fed them.
You can't just obviously discount that third period, but if you look at the first 40 minutes, they look like the process was pretty good in the first period. Good response after the back-to-back goals. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I think it was a really good response. I think you look at the first 40 minutes and obviously there's some things that we can point to, as far as getting to our game, what it looks like. We certainly can't be satisfied with that. This is where we have to demand more of making sure that we play the whole 60. This is where I'm definitely going to lean on the leaders. This is where we have to demand that of each other. It's not okay to just do it for 20 minutes. It's not okay to just do it for 40 minutes. We got to make sure we do it for 60. And that's the thing that's been sort of lacking in our game, is just the consistency of it. Whether it's game to game, whether it's shift to shift, whether it's period to period, when we're doing it right, it looks good, and we're having success, and not just on the defensive side of things, but also creating offense from it. But certainly when we get a little bit careless, that's when we tend to shoot ourselves in the foot, and that's when we obviously don't look like quite as good of a team.
How would you evaluate Kerberov's game, and what was different tonight?
Well, I hope I'm going to evaluate it. I know that's a funny question, just because as far as what was different, I feel like Proby's, in all honesty, has been playing pretty well for a while here for us. I guess what was different is that the puck went in for him. I do like that he was shooting the puck more, and maybe that's what was different. But I've been happy with Proby's game for a period of time here, and obviously he was very aggressive. He was assertive. I would think that, the offense that he was creating, it's not like he was pressing the issue. He was still keeping the play in front of him, which we need our defensemen to do. But his execution was good to allow us to get to the offensive zone, and then he was obviously good there.
What do you see from really in all three zones?
Yeah, he's just a very responsible player, mature player. Certainly has the right intentions every time he's on the ice, and this is what winning teams do. And this is what good players do, is they, you always have to be trying to make something happen when you're a player. You always have to be trying to create. You always have to be trying to generate momentum, generate scoring chances. But it has to be equally as important to make sure that you're not giving up those opportunities, to make sure that you're not feeding the momentum to the other team, the opportunities to the other team, giving up scoring chances. He seems to understand that quite well.